Dom loves his chicken nuggies.
What's up, guys? The phenomenal AJ Styles, and you're watching Bretto Live.
Welcome to the Week in Review, episode 306. We talk about Raw and Smackdown in a WWE action figure setup style. As you can see right here, we're starting off with Monday Night Raw from Greensville, South Carolina. Pretty solid freaking crowd for this show. My God, they were hot, bro. The pop for Sami Zayn later in the show was insane. Same with CM Punk. They were singing Cult of Personality when the music wasn't even playing anymore. It was amazing. Great crowd. Shout out to anybody who was in the crowd for Raw. Halfway through the video, we're going to be talking about Smackdown as well, so stay tuned for that. And also tomorrow, Sunday, I will be covering Saturday Night Main Event in a setup style as well. Without further ado, let's jump into Monday Night Raw on Netflix. We opened up the show with Mr. Logan Paul listing off a bunch of facts. Facts about Jey Uso, facts about Gunther, facts about title reigns, and who cares? Literally, who cares, bro? This entire promo from Logan Paul was so boring, so luckily he got interrupted by just as boring of a guy, Gunther. Gunther was make his presence felt, and I got face vibes from this Gunther. Just a little bit, okay? I can't be the only one. Gunther basically just putting Logan Paul on notice, because of course, if Logan Paul beats Jey, then Gunther will face Logan Paul for the World Heavyweight Championship in June. But Gunther says, I hope you lose, Logan, because I want to take that title off of Jey. After this promo, it would end in a brawl, because Jey Uso would sneak attack Logan Paul from behind with a super kick. Logan Paul deserved it. Good for you, Jey. Listen, AJ Styles and Penta versus JD McDonough and Finn Balor. Now, does that just sound absolutely amazing coming off the tongue? At least in my opinion. I heard that announcement that we were going to be seeing this tag match, and I was like, oh my God, that's going to be match of the night. It has to be. This match was freaking amazing. If it wasn't for freaking El Grande Americano, man. So Penta's going to hit one of the most wicked Mexican destroyers I've ever seen on the outside of the ring to JD McDonough. On the outside of the ring, bro. Insane. And then here comes El Grande Americano, aka Chad Gable, with a headbutt to the back of Penta. Finn Balor to take advantage, hit the coup de grace, and pin Penta 1, 2, 3. So Finn Balor and the Judgment Day actually escaped by with a victory, which I'm fine with. I like Finn Balor, I like JD, but man, at the expense of AJ Styles and Penta, oh, that's rough. It was a Money in the Bank qualifiers match where Natalya fought Roxanne Perez and Becky Lynch in a triple threat match. This match was actually really decent. I did enjoy it. Lyra Valkyria making her debut in my weekend reviews. I've been using Xia Li a lot, so it's good to have an actual Lyra Valkyria figure. Lyra Valkyria would screw over Becky Lynch, easy as that. Becky Lynch had this match in the bag if it wasn't for Lyra Valkyria attacking Becky Lynch, allowing for Roxanne Perez to hit Pop Rocks on Natalya to pick up the victory and punch her ticket to Money in the Bank. Roxanne Perez could be our future Money in the Bank holder. I'm not even lying when I say that. Roxanne Perez could win that ladder match, I swear to you. Oh, Grayson Waller versus Sheamus. Now, this match had a smile on my face, as well as Austin Theory's. Theory was smiling it up this entire match because, dude, if you remember, Grayson Waller said, oh yeah, you could have the match, you could have the match, and it was against a mystery opponent. It happened to be Sheamus, and then Sheamus squashed Austin Theory. So here we go. Waller is stepping up to the plate on behalf of Austin Theory, and he gets squashed. Bro kick to pick up the victory. Sheamus beats Grayson Waller, and Grayson Waller wanted to even walk out. He wanted to walk out of this match. Theory's like, no, that ain't happening. Get back in that ring. Get back in that ring. Theory, he had the biggest smile on his face. Bro, just turn Theory face already. Bro could literally be the next John Cena. Make it happen. Another Money in the Bank qualifier match over here for the women's side of things. Kairi Sane making her return here on the Raw roster. It was nice to see Kairi, and it's good to have her back in the action figure setup. Kairi Sane fought Rhea Ripley and Zoe Stark in a triple threat match. Zoe Stark would get injured in this match. She kind of get walked off, so she wasn't really a big part of this match. It felt more like a one-on-one match between Kairi Sane and Rhea Ripley. So who's going to get the better there? Obviously Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley's going to hit the riptide on Kairi and punch her ticket to Money in the Bank. Good for Rhea. Whoa, is the Judgment Day, or I mean, should I say Finn Balor, trying to replace Liv Morgan while she's filming a movie? Roxanne Perez, who won her match earlier in the night, Finn Balor would approach Roxanne and say, hey, did you want to be part of the Judgment Day? We're kind of down a guy, we're down Liv, so we could use another woman in the Judgment Day. I mean, hey, she got Dominic Chicken Nuggets, she got Carlito Apple, so hey, maybe Roxanne will be the next member of the Judgment Day and possibly replace Liv Morgan, stepping side by side with Raquel Rodriguez as women's tag team champions. Maybe. What does Finn Balor have up his sleeve, man? He's just trying to piss off Liv. It was our main event of the show where Braun Breaker went one-on-one with Jey Uso. No, this was not for the World Heavyweight Championship, but it still ended with Jey technically picking up the victory by disqualification. Obviously, eventually Jey Uso would be attacked by Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker would just start 2-on-1ing. That would lead to Sami Zayn coming out for backup along with CM Punk. And I kind of mentioned in the beginning of the video, bro, this crowd was going crazy. They finished the words to Cult of Personality even when it wasn't playing, bro. WWE wasn't playing it. It was awesome. So Punk, Sami would fight Braun and Seth, hyping us up for Saturday Night Main Event tag team match. And yeah, the match between Jey and Braun was thrown out the window. So they pan back to Jey in the ring and boom, one lucky punch from Logan Paul. Logan Paul knocks out Jey Uso, leaves him in a twisted heap in the center of the ring. Well, I mean, it's only right. I mean, it's a little payback from the beginning of the show because he got super kicked. So hey, it's only right. Logan Paul gets his revenge on Jey. It was Monday Night Raw. Pretty solid show. It felt quick, but it was kind of boring at certain points. Straight up, they had a lot of backstage segments that I didn't really mention because it wasn't really worth mentioning, man. It's still not too bad. That's why I'm going to give it a solid, probably 6 out of 10. It's kind of low. My favorite match was easily AJ Styles and Penta versus JD and Finn. I love that tag match. And my favorite moment, probably the crowd literally singing Cult of Personality. It was awesome. Jump into Smackdown. You have made it halfway through the video. Here we go. Blue Brand, Friday Night Smackdown, Savannah, Georgia. 3 hours in roughly 4 to 5 minutes. Let's run through it. Tiffany Stratton opened up this show with one of the biggest insults of all time. So Tiffany Stratton was running through her accolades, all the people she's beaten for her women's championship and retained multiple times. She would get interrupted by Alexa Bliss, which I found kind of odd, and then Charlotte Flair. Tiffany Stratton would kind of bounce back because they were kind of insulting Tiffany Stratton. Tiffany would bounce back and say, you guys are both a little too vintage for me. I'm new, I'm improved, I'm the upgrade. I was like, oh my god, because Alexa Bliss and Charlotte are kind of like classic wrestlers now, which is kind of crazy to say. Charlotte would jump right into action into a Money in the Bank qualifiers match where Charlotte would take on Selena Vega, the United States champion, and yes, that's Thea Hale, but I'm posing that as Julia, the new upstart, newest signee to SmackDown. This was triple threat action. I actually pleasantly enjoyed this match. I had Julia winning, and she did. I'm glad they didn't give it to Charlotte, man. Charlotte doesn't need the Money in the Bank briefcase, bro. Julia needed this. She would pin Selena Vega to pick up the victory, and it was all over from there. I did not know Julia was Japanese. That's crazy. Tommaso Ciampa went one-on-one with Chris Sabin of the Motor City Machine Guns, and this was interesting, seeing a one-on-one match with Chris Sabin in it, and Tommaso Ciampa. I'm so used to seeing these guys in tag matches, but it was a pretty good match. Johnny Gargano would jump on the apron, try to distract Chris Sabin a couple times in this match, and then he'd get taken out, actually, by Alex Shelley on ringside, so that was pretty cool. But then Candice LeRae would jump on the apron and distract Chris Sabin, allowing for Ciampa to pick up the victory. So yeah, I guess they're popping Candice LeRae back in DIY. I'm all for it, man. She doesn't really do too well when she fights the top women like a Nia Jax or like a Tiffany Stratton. So hey, pop her with DIY, have her be a manager. I'm all for it. Well, it looked like Damian Priest was about to shed some light on the steel cage match that's going to be happening tonight. He was about to cut a promo, but before he could even make his entrance, man, him and Drew McIntyre were getting into it again. Yes, I say again. Before the show even began, they were already fighting. I forgot to mention at the beginning, but yeah, this is their second time fighting in the night. So they brawled out. No words were even spoken. They'd brawl it out. It'd get broken up by security. And man, I am so hyped for the steel cage match. So the Secret Service and Chelsea Green thought they could just toy with Selena Vega backstage, but then who stepped in to help? B-Fab and Michin. So B-Fab and Michin are going to get a tag team match up against the Secret Service, Piper Niven, Alba Fire. Tag match was okay. It didn't really have my 100% attention. I mean, come on. But Selena Vega is going to make her presence felt here, take out Chelsea Green, who wasn't even in the match on ringside, so it's not going to cause a DQ. It allows for B-Fab to actually get a pinfall victory over Alba Fire, which was actually pretty cool. B-Fab never gets any pinfall victories, so that's pretty solid. Jimmy Uso would team up with Mr. Ray Phoenix to take on Jacob Fatu and JC Mateo. JC Mateo and Jacob Fatu, definitely, they're not really 100% on the same page. I could tell the way that they look at each other in this match. Not the best communication between the two in the match. They're obviously two insane powerhouses, so they took care of business. They took care of Ray Phoenix. They took care of freaking Jimmy Uso. JC Mateo did get the pinfall victory over Jimmy Uso with a super power slam. Kind of took the spotlight away from Jacob Fatu. I don't know how Jacob feels about that, but Jacob's got a Money in the Bank qualifiers match next week, and who's in that match with him? Solo Sikoa. So we'll see how that goes. Another Money in the Bank qualifier match over here. Triple threat action. Shinsuke Nakamura, Aleister Black, and LA Knight. Yeah, this was triple threat action. Great stuff here, man. I wanted Aleister Black to win this so bad, bro. So Aleister Black literally closing in on the victory. Black mass on Shinsuke Nakamura. I'm like, here we go. 1, 2, 3, right? No. LA Knight runs in the ring, throws Aleister Black out of the ring, and then pins Nakamura after all the work was done. I was like, bro, LA Knight, you flop every time in Money in the Bank, bro. You do every time. You say you're going to win, and you never do, LA Knight. Why are they giving LA Knight another opportunity at Money in the Bank? He's gonna lose. I guarantee it. R-Truth has spoken, man. He plans on beating the hustle, loyalty, and respect back into John Cena at the Saturday Night Main Event, bro. I am so curious about what's going to happen in the R-Truth and John Cena match. Yes, we all know probably Cena's gonna win one way or another, but it's not really about who's gonna win this match. It's more about, like, what are they gonna freaking do in this match? What do they have planned for Truth? What do they have planned for Cena? That's what I'm interested in, man. I can't wait for the Saturday Night Main Event. It was weird seeing R-Truth cut more of a serious kind of promo here, man. Why were they whatting R-Truth? Why would you do that to my boy? Fraxium is so awesome, bro. I love this tag team of Nathan Frazier and Axiom. They had the well-anticipated tag team championship match up against the Street Profits. I was looking forward to this match all night. Main event, great stuff. And then here comes DIY. I was like, no, we don't need DIY causing a DQ. So MCMG is going to come out, kind of get him out of the equation. And it looks like the Street Profits are closing on the victory. Montez Ford's on the top rope. Lights go out and the Wyatt Six make a return. This caught me insanely off guard. Did anybody else know that this was going to happen? I had no clue the Wyatt Six was coming. We don't have the official Mattel figures yet from Mattel, obviously, of the Wyatt Six. So I have some random ones in here like The Fiend, Dexter Lumis. But I cannot wait for the Mattel Elite figures of the Wyatt Six. But yeah, they caused a big interruption here in the main event. Caused a DQ. So obviously Street Profits are going to retain their titles. Fraxium kind of gets screwed here, which I'm kind of sad about. This is like full-blown heel here for the Wyatt Six. They caused a DQ. They were taking out the faces, taking out the heels. So yeah, they were just wreaking havoc. Yeah, and Nikki Cross was out there too, of course. Crazy way to end the show. Did not think the Wyatt Six was coming out. This was wild. Friday Night Smackdown this week gets an easy 7 out of 10 from me, dude. Raw got a 6. Low. Smackdown was a better show this week. No doubt about it, at least in my personal opinion. My favorite match was Fraxium versus Street Profits, and my favorite moment was the Wyatt Six return. Easy stuff right there. Great show overall, in my personal opinion. Should it be 2 hours? Yes, but it's not, so we deal with it. Whatever. Thank you guys so much for making it all the way to the end. Comment down below Gymshark if you made it all the way to the end, and I will also be reviewing Saturday Night Main Event tomorrow morning, so stay tuned for that. It's going to be a fun one, and I'll see you guys next time. Bretto Live is out.